Hi there. In this video, we will learn about another important topic which is Oracle Tablespace Management. So before starting this topic, let me clear this thing why this is important to understand about Tablespace Management. If you are a fresher DBA or you are an experienced DBA or you are just starting your career as a DBA, so this topic is very important because on daily basis we receive requests or issues related to this topic. So for any level of the DBA, you need to understand about this topic and you should know. Okay, so let's start. First we understand what table space is. In Oracle, a table space is a logical storage unit. I'm not going to explain the database architecture. If you read out somewhere about the database architecture, you learn about database architecture, you come to know why we are discussing this topic. So let me clear one thing. This is my blog W3 Buddy. Here you will find all the important stuff about DBA and other important topic as well. So if you are new, you can use Oracle DB menu, and here you can click getting started, and I explain the architecture in very nice way in easy to understand language. So you can just start from here, then you can learn SQL, then Oracle DB tasks, cell scripting, performance tuning, Oracle DB interview question answers. Okay, so like this you can explore the blog, you can bookmark this blog, and you can share with the friends, colleagues, or whatever it is, and you can utilize this information which I posted here. Okay, so let's come back to the topic. And table space is a logical storage unit. It groups physical data files where your actual data is live. So our actual data is stored in the physical data files. Okay, so there are some storage in it. So you come to know in the architecture. I'm not going to explain here. So knowing the different types of table space help you manage space, performance, and organization more effectively. All right. Now here I noted down some different types of table spaces for quick reference. So let's explore one by one. First is system table spaces. It is used to store core database metadata like data dictionaries, system catalogs, etc. Next is sysocs, support system, store metadata for OEM, AWR, etc. Undo, track changes for rollback and recovery. Temp, hold temporary data, example sort, hash join, etc. Default, where user objects go by default unless specified. If you are not specifying any table space while creating the user, it will go to the default table space. Big file, in big file, single large data file, easier to manage in big databases. In normal table spaces we have multiple data files, but in big file table spaces we have only single large data file. All right, a small file default type use multiple smaller files. So these are not the generalized types, but you might confuse going forward. So these are the terms which we can you refer. And user, that means custom table space for application user or user data, keeping things organized. Like I'm an application owner, I want to create some table specific table spaces specific to the particular application to store the data, right? So this is kind of customized table spaces. We can create any name of the table space. Okay, now I kept some important script. I'm not going to do everything. I'm not going to cover everything as a practical, but I will explain these scripts and their use so that you can utilize this post for table space management. All right. So use these scripts to monitor and manage table space efficiently, especially for the DBA task. So as a DBA, you might know, you want to know how many table spaces there in my databases, right? Along with their size, utilize, free percentage, etc., etc. Because if you are not sure how many table spaces, what are the name of those table spaces, you can't proceed further. Like someone wants to check the table space utilization, adding data file or something like that. So this is the very important query which will list all the table space along with their size, utilization, and etc. So let me just copy this, and I have installed 90C in my laptop. So let me just connect to the database SQL plus as sys DBA. All right, sys DBA. I'm connected as sys. All right, so I just copy this script, copy, and here I will paste this. So it will provide the list of table spaces which are available in my system currently. So here you can see system sysocs undo TVS. For example, if you are not sure what is the name of undo table space in your database, right? So you always refer undo, then it will show table space is not available. Then you will be confused, right? You will not get a clear picture which table space is there. So this query is very useful. It will show that all the table space names, total size in MB, total used MB, pre-MB and pre-percentage. So you have clear picture right now. Which table space is having sufficient space, which table is not having sufficient space, right? So this query you can use like that. Second query, we have a check specific table space. For example, you don't want to list all the table spaces, then you can check if you know the name or customer provided any table space name, you can check for particular table space, then you can use this query check specific table space. Copy this script and let me run it. For example, in my case, I don't have any custom table space, so I will use like users or maybe sysocs or maybe system. So let me put here users. All right, I just want to check that users table space. For example, a customer may provide another name, so you in your case it may be different, but I just want to check for a specific table space like this. So total size, used table space size in GB, free table size in GB, pre-percentage, used percent like this. So this query is also helpful when user asks to check about particular table space, or you also want to check about particular table space. Now next query is check table space with auto extension enabled. What is the meaning of auto extensible? I will tell you later while I will show the data files. Okay, but before we will check this output, all right, of this query. You will come to know. Enter the value of users, right? See here, table space name users, current GB 0, current GB means 0, max GB 32, use GB 0, free GB 32, use percentage. What is the meaning of auto extensible here? For example, if you initially created any data file inside this table space, which size you fix the size without auto extension, this is 10 GB, then current GB it's supposed to show 10 GB, right? It will not show max GB. Max GB means we initially created data file with a small chunk of size like 2 MB, like 100 MB or 200 MB or 300 MB, whatever it is, and we enabled auto extension to 32 GB. So whenever space is needed, whenever consumption is needed, it will utilize that space. Otherwise, the space is freely available. Okay, physical space is freely available. So this is the meaning of auto extensible. Currently, current GB 0, max GB, but we can store 32 GB data in this table space. This is the meaning, and until we are not utilizing this, the space is free. Okay, so this is kind of flexibility here with auto extension. So we DBA use these stuff smartly whenever it is needed. Alright, so next table space, next query is top 20 segment for given table space. Suppose we want to check the top 20 segment. For example, if someone asks you like hey guys, this table is utilization consumption is very high, can you check what is consuming the space much in this table space? So if customer given the name table space name, then you can replace this with the actual name and you can use this query. For example, in my case, let me copy this in notepad. Okay, first notepad, let me copy this query there, and for example, and I just want to know about users table space. All right, users, what are the top 20 segments of that table space? So I will just copy this and users, value for users. See, my users table space is having these top 20 segments. Like these are owner, segment name, partition name, segment type, and size in GB. Alright, currently size is showing similar because this is not utilizing and no application data is stored. I just installed that database, so it is created while database was created. Okay, but in real time you might get these values differently. All right, some table space having some GB, TV, etc. space may be different. So you will come to know like particular segment, particular things is like segment type also it here like particular table is consuming more. So you can inform the application team like guys, this is that table which is consuming more space in particular table space. So this query is very useful whenever you have requirement like this. All right, now we have one query, check high watermark. Let me tell you why this query I kept here. For example, when we have space like starvation, when we have a limit of space and we don't have much space to increase the table space, and some of the table space might have free space, right? Let's say in our room we want to keep something but we don't have a space. So what always we do, we adjust the things here and there, right, to make some space. So if we don't have extra room but we want to store something, right, so in that situation we always do the adjustment, right? So here you can see I given one path, right, path here. So this query will give you the high watermark, like how much we can reclaim from the particular data file. All right, so before this query, I will let you know later, but before that I need to check another query, because I just want to check the data file. Let me see, this is the query which will provide the data file detail, then we will come to that script. Okay, to know that data file of a particular table space, we can use this query, and here I let me put the name users, and users table space is having only this data file, only one data file which is having 5 GB space, and out of that max byte it is 32 GB, right? So initially it is created with the 5 GB only, right? Now let me copy this path from here, and now I will tell you the watermark things. Okay, this is the query. Let me copy this, and I will copy this query in the notepad. All right, and here we will replace that data file. So this is the name of the data file. I will copy this, and I will replace this, I would say, path to your table space and data. Correct. Now let me execute this query. Let me execute the query. Here it will calculate and it will display the result. See, this is the data file, smallest MB3, current size in MB5, saving size 2 MB we can say from here. So high watermark means 3 MB currently it is using, and max current size क्या है इसका, whatever current size is 5 MB, we can still save 2 MB. But this is not in real time situation. Real time situation we have higher sizes, right? Currently database is created for learning purpose, so the sizes are very small. But in real situation, real time, we have much space, and we can decide, like how much we can reclaim. So this is the meaning of high watermark. So I kept this query. Everything is important here, bro. Okay. Now just want to check the undo table space uses. So let me just copy this command, and let me fire this command. And here it is asking for the table space name. So initially in first query, now let me tell you why it was important, because we don't know the undo table space name. Sometimes we just assume, like table space name is undo, but here undo TBS1, right? So that was query was important. Now let me put the name and undo TBS1. So like this we can, the first query was very important. Now we have all the table space details, so we can just check the name and put the correct name. Otherwise you will put undo, it will say table space is not available, right? So free, 100% free. So like this, if you want to check undo table spaces, many times we receive error related to undo, so in that case you need to check the undo table spaces. Okay, check the data file detail. So particular table space we already checked. To check the data file detail for particular table space, you can check this query. Now for example, if you want to check the data file creation date and time, so this query is helpful. Suppose if someone asks you, many times it has requirement, like so someone asks you to check the data file creation date and time, so you can check like this. So let me just copy this query here. Okay, see, this is the query, and this is my data file DBA, and I will replace this. All right, and I can use this query now to check it. What is the data file? See, 30 5 2029. This data file was created on this time, right? So this is the time for data file creation. So this query you can refer like this. All right. Now next query is these are the basic commands. I will explain here itself, because I don't have any table spaces which was created custom, so I can't I will add, but I need to, the video length will be more high and it doesn't make any sense, because you can clearly understand what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, so you just assume those things. The basic part already explained. So for example, sometimes we have need to add data files because of the consumption. Suppose some table space is getting filled up and we need to add some more space, so in that case we add the data file in particular table space. All right, so here see, add data file to W3 test table space windows. For example, how to add data file. So there are multiple ways to add the data file, so I kept all the ways here. Let me explain one by one. Alter table space name. Table space name is W3 test. Add data file. In this is the path in Windows, but in Linux, Unix you have backslash like this. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have any problem. Whatever path is there, you can just copy paste that, right? So CL or whatever W3 body. This is my table space data file name and size 1 GB. Like this you can add. This is the one way to add the data file. In which table space we are adding? W3 test. Another option to add the data file with auto extensible on. So this is the second command, add data file with auto extend to W3 test table space windows. So how we will add this? Alter table space W3 test, add data file size 1024 MB, auto extend on, max size. So initially what size we have given? Only 1 GB. So it will initially utilize 1 GB, but it is capable to store 32 GB because we have enabled auto extend on. So it is best practice whenever you don't want to consume your space. Even your, so for example, this table space utilization is very low initially, but you are adding data file like this 32 GB, then it will impact the, like, it will utilize unnecessarily space, even it is not getting utilized, right? So like this you can create that data files initially in less size, and you can auto extend that particular data file to whatever required size. So max you can max extend this like this. 32 GB is a max size for particular data file. Okay, so this is the way to enable auto extend for particular data file, and this is best practice whenever needed. Another option, add data file with auto extend to W3 test table in window. So alter table space W3 test, add data file name, size 100 MB, auto extend on, next 64 MB, increase, max size 31 GB. This is another way to and add the data file. Okay, add data file to W3 test table space Linux. On Linux like this we add alter table space W3 test, add data file, and this is the path. Okay, this is the table space, and this is the data file name. If suppose one is already there, you will supposed to need to add 2, right? If 2 is there, you need to make the number 3, size 31 GB. Alright, this is the Linux. And on Linux, how to add data file with auto extendable on? So alter table space W3 test, add data file, this is the file path name, size 1 GB, auto extend on, next 64 MB, max size 20 GB. So these are the base, right? Now add temp file to but while adding the temp file in temporary table space, syntax is little bit different. Alter table space W3 add temp file, not data file. Alright, this is the path. Okay, size 20 GB. So these are the different ways to add the data files. I kept all the different ways here to make the things smooth for you. Alright, now we have added, but sometimes we given size 1 GB. Alright, so instead of adding new data file, why we can't increase this to 32 GB? Max size is 32 GB. You can add data file till 32 GB, right? So if space is needed, then we can definitely increase such files which are having flexibility, which are having some options, which are having size which we can increase to 32 GB. So in that case we need to resize the data files. So we have also different types of option to resize. Let's see one by one. Resize the data file for W3. See, alter database data file. This is the data file resize 31 GB. From 1 GB or whatever size is there, existing size, we can resize it like this. But we can also resize the data file which is having auto extend on. So alter table space name, add data file name, size 30 GB. Alright. Another way, alter database data file. This is the data file auto extend on, max size 25 GB. Previously it was 10 GB. Let's say now we are increasing to 25 GB. Another resize data file with W test table space. Max alter table database data file auto extend on, max size 15 GB. So these are the different ways to resize the data files. Enable disable auto extend. So if someone asks, it many times it requires, but someone asks to make the data file auto extend off or on, you can use this command. To make it to enable, you can use like this, alter database data file auto extend on. But to disable, you can use auto extend off. So these are very important command. Take a data file offline, online. Alter database data file name offline. If you want to make it online, you can use online. So these are the small commands, but we are very important command. Drop a data file. If you need to drop a data file, alter table space users, drop data file name. Simple. Remove or move data file. Alter database to move data file to a new location. For example, if you want to change the location of data file, you can move like this. Alter database, move data file, this location to another location. Alright. Create a new table space. If you want to create new table space, for example, application team requested to create some table space, then you should know, as a DBA, you must know how to create table space, right? So this is the way. First syntax, let's see. Create table space W3 test with the data file, 5 GB size with auto extend on. So create table space W3 test data file. This is the path, size 5 GB, auto extend on, next 500 MB. correct. Next option is create table space w3 body test 2 data file path size 1 GB auto extend on next 64 max size 5 GB. So like this you can create data file, table space, right? Create a big data file. I already explained, in big data file only one data file is the size is very high. So create big file table space w3 body big table space data file this size 100 GB auto extend on next 1 GB. Alright, so like this you can provide size 1 TB or whatever it is. So like this you can create big file table space. Create a table space on ASM disk group. So on normal file system we are creating till now. Now if you have ASM disk group file system, then you can use like this. Create table space data file. You need to provide the disk group name, size 5 GB, auto extend on next 500 MB, correct. Now if you want to rename a table space in Oracle database, then you need to follow these steps. Query to check the file details for file ID 37. So if file ID is 37, you need to check the data file table space name, right? And rename the table space name from w3 body test to w3 body producing. So how to rename? Alter table space w3 body test rename to w3 pricing. Query to verify the updated details. Again we need to validate if table space rename or not. So like this you want to rename, you can rename it. You can also drop table space if not needed. If application team want to drop the table space, you can also drop. So drop table space name. Query to check the file name associated with table space. So this is the query. You can check how many files, data files are there in particular table space. Okay, drop the table space w including the physical data file. So drop table space w3 test including content and data files. It will drop everything, right? Take the data file, take the table offline. If you don't want to drop, you can take it offline. Alter table space w3 test data offline. Drop the table space including content data files. So like this you can drop, correct. Now if you want to check, if suppose application team wants to check if any data growth for particular table space because of the consumption is high, or they are getting frequent alert for particular table space, and they want to check, can you please check what is increasing here, what is the growth of table space. So let me just copy this command. Let me try to check if I can check it in my system. Otherwise you can use this query in real-time solution. Okay, here we will try to check what is the growth of particular table space. User table space, see, allocated GB 0, current GB 0, previous GB 0. So no data growth is there for particular table space users, because this is created recently, right? But in your case output may be different. Next query is data file shrink analysis and resizing script. So this query give you the idea, like how much we can reclaim the space for data files. Let me execute this query. If we are getting some output, and it will analyze the data files for all the table. See, currently you don't have any data files, but in your case you will get the result here. This script help identify and reclaim unused space from Oracle data file by calculating the correct size, smallest size, possible size based on the high watermark, and reclaim saving. It also generate a shape. It will also generate command like this, resize command. So you can just copy paste those commands safely, and you can blindly run those commands in the database. Okay, so alter database data file resize command, it will generate that. All right, so what it show? Current size, actual size of the data file in MB, smallest position, like minimum shape size based on the data uses, saving space. You can reclaim command SQL to shrink the file. All right, how did we pull block size from the use these are the, so this file is basically used to reclaim the space from the existing data files. So this was the basic brief idea about table space management as an initial startup. This post is very important for you. So I will recommend to go through about these things, and you need to understand. You can also read out more. You can explore more about these table spaces, and you can explore more about database architecture. Then you come to know what is logical space, logical storage unit, what is physical storage unit. And I'm just, because in every topic you can't explain the architecture again and again, so you need to skip those things because those are repetitive things for the DBA, right? So here I explain these things, practical stuff only. So you can bookmark this link, and you can utilize the table space management from here. And also you can explore more, like you can use the chat GPT, you can use the AI tool if you have some different requirement. If you want to search some other commands related to table space management, you can also free to explore more about table space management. In case any query, you can just write it down in the comment section. I will try to give the answer, and I hope you are exploring the blog much. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.